What? What are you guys doing here? Just checking up on you, General. I'm fine. I took care of the targets. Psst. Sure. Sure you did. Soften them right up for us. What? Wait, what? General Maru knew you would be too soft-hearted about it. This is why I finish things. But they promised they wouldn't Voidmance anymore. And you believe them? They're Voidmancers. They had families, children. Took care of them too. What? Oh, he's just kidding about the kids. I might as well have, though, if you've seen them. You vicious bastard! Vicious? You know, it's funny. Tomorrow, if I kill 7 people, they lock me up. Today, I kill them. They give me metal. I'll fucking kill you! Hey, whoa. We don't want any trouble, man. We're just doing our jobs. The council never would have... The She-King would never have ordered this. But the general staff of the military did. Or did you miss the memo? Don't blame us. Blood on all of our hands, buddy. Wash up real well.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Hiya! Penguin Truth here, and it's time for more Otaku Evolution. Be sure to like, subscribe, and contribute to the Patreon. Anime English dubs. A total necessity for marketing Japanese animation in English-speaking areas. While I generally prefer the Japanese versions of anime, I can both attest to the usefulness of dubs, as well as the quality of many of them. I suppose it depends on the series, movie, or OVA. While the average modern dub is, by and large, accurate and well acted, it's also possible they don't quite reach the heights of yesteryear, while avoiding the pitfalls of those times. I've highlighted anime in this second half of 2025. Now's the time to talk about their dubs, for good and ill. So get ready for low-stakes discussion. Funimation's English dub of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F is part of their continuing trend of accurately dubbing the Dragon Ball franchise, and that would be reason enough to be noteworthy if it weren't also just a pretty solid dub overall on its own. The movie sees the return of fan-favorite villain Frieza, ably portrayed by a wonderfully wicked-sounding Chris Ayres, R.I.P. He really is the star of this feature, bringing a sense of gleeful evil to the character. But not to be too outdone, both Sean Schemmel as Goku and Chris Sabat as Vegeta and Piccolo, among others, perform quite well too, as well as Jason Douglas as Beerus and Ian Sinclair as Whis, returning from the previous movie. I also marvel at the comic sensibilities of Monica Rial's Bulma and Todd Haberkorn's Jocko. While some criticisms can certainly be levied against the film itself, there's no doubt that the English dub, at the very least, is well served.
You of all people should know this about me, but I don't share Kakarot's taste for forgiveness. I'm sending you back to hell.
Ha ha. Your threats are as empty as your title. All hail Vegeta, Prince of No One.
Carole and Tuesday is an interesting series. It's an anime about musicians, and most of the music is already in English. So it would make sense to get the singers to do the speaking voices of the characters, but I guess they either can't act well or were too expensive, because the voices are all done by other existing voice actors. I wonder if at some point they thought about dubbing over the songs with the speaking voice actors for the characters. I don't know why I thought about that. That idea just came into my head. I bet they really didn't. It's an excellent dub anyway, led by Jeannie Torrado, Brianna Knickerbocker, and Ryan Bartley. But you also get to hear voice actors like Christina V, Patrick Sates, and Richard Epcar in there too, in smaller roles. I can't think of anyone who's miscast or performed poorly. The whole thing just feels so natural in English. It's a real delight.
Oh! Yeah.
Space Pirate Mito is honestly one of the most annoying anime I've ever had the displeasure of watching. A show that has an okay premise, but the execution is absolutely obnoxious. The English dub, done by NYAV Post, isn't helping its case because it too is irritating to listen to. Lisa Ortiz and Veronica Taylor are both pretty damn talented voice actors, but I keep running into some of their, shall we say, lesser performances. Not that Ortiz is completely off base here. Mito is an ear-splittingly exasperating woman child in a child's body, and she plays it up real well. But in such an aggravating fashion, I wish it had been downplayed instead. She even does a fine job pulling double duty as our central villain, adding a spot of pathos to them. But everything is just so vexing. So I can't really tell whether the dub is actually a very good representation of the series or not. Because in either language, it's like fucking ear poison. I guess I just can't come to a conclusion about this one. If I had to hazard a rating, I'd say, I don't know, tolerable? Unlike the show itself.
You're free to go, little man.
Huh? I'm free?
It's the least I could do. You know, your dad used to say that if people would try...
Huh?
Just a little bit, we could all live in harmony.
Lupin the Third Part 2 was a very, colorful English dub. Done in 2003 by Phuuz Entertainment, probably specifically so it would fit in on the Adult Swim programming block, which it was on. The dub of Part 2 was, let's just say, punched up for certain comedic sensibilities. That is, the Adult Swim sensibilities, for good and ill. There were a lot of modern references, dirty jokes, and irreverent meta-humor added to the episode scripts, which to me was a bit of a mixed bag. The show was from the 1970s, so they didn't want it seeming dated, but I think by adding references to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Shaquille O'Neal only made it feel more dated, if anything. The Japanese script references then relevant things in pop culture, but it usually worked. With the modern references, you just feel like you're watching an episode of C-Lab 2021. I guess that show was pretty decent, though. I just prefer the way Lupin material is dubbed these days, script-wise. But acting-wise, Tony Oliver, Richard Epcar, Lex Lang, and Michelle Ruff are absolutely magnetic in their roles. They've sort of become the official, celebrated performers of these characters. And they've only gotten better with time. I only wish Phuuz had dubbed the whole series. Just maybe more like the later parts.
What's so great about the United States?
The freedom there.
Yeah, if you can afford it, that is.
Jazz, disco, and musical theater, and all the fashions from everywhere. America has everything.
Gangs, drugs, violence, pornography. Yeah, they got a lot of everything there.
It was a small miracle that Discotek not only licensed the 6-part Gunbuster OVA for a domestic Blu-ray release, but they actually got a dub studio, Sound Cadence, to do an English version for it. Another small miracle is that the dub itself is pretty solid. Starring Cayenne Chula King, Melissa Sternenberg, and Bradley Gareth, the famously hot-blooded, passionate performances in the Japanese version are reflected well here in the English dub. It's something I was incredibly skeptical of at first, especially since the first episode is a little rough dub-wise, but they soon climb into their parts and hit hard when it counts. It's a sort of anime you wouldn't expect an English dub to do right by, but it totally does. Even some of the smaller parts like Smith Torin or Kimiko sound good. I'd really like to hear more of Sound Cadence dubs in the future. Compared to some of the other dub studios I've covered before, they're practically new kids on the block. If only they would get some more major titles.
Takeya, I order you to stop! The Gunbuster isn't finished yet!
It only needs to last 10 minutes, Captain.
Fall back! It's not ready for sublight combat!
Then I'll be the one to ram them, not you!
Takeya! Takeya, I want you to go directly for their leader. Ignore all the smaller ones.
Coach. Sir!
Now I have to talk about the English dub for Crest of the Stars. It's a fucking Blue Water dub. You should know by now how I feel about Blue Water dubs. These are the same people that butchered Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Crest of the Stars dub has pretty much the same problem as Zeta Gundam's. In other words, everybody sounds bored out of their fucking minds. Would it kill anybody in this dub to put in a little effort? It sounds like just dry reads from index or cue cards. The material is already pretty dry. Does the delivery have to be too? I really hate ending the dub reviews on a sour note here, but Blue Water is one of the worst dub studios in the business. Sure, there are a couple of okay dubs by them, but Crest of the Stars is not one of them. Watch this show in Japanese. It's a little dry there too, but at least they sound like they care. Seriously, Blue Water has a lot to answer for.
You've given me another reason to dislike you.
I hear that Obs sometimes smile in front of those they hate. The smile of an Ob. It is so gruesome looking that they say it is much like a poisonous flower in all its glory.
And those are all the English dubs of the anime I've reviewed in the second part of the year. The only particularly bad one was Blue Water's dub of Crest of the Stars, and a few were quite excellent even. I try to expose myself to a variety of different dub studios during the year, though it's not usually a make-or-break decider of what titles I cover throughout. Hopefully the dubs of the anime I cover next year are pretty good too. Well, it's been a difficult year. Politically, financially, perhaps spiritually. Hard times have dominated the world, or at least in my corner of it. But at the very least, Otaku Evolution remains mostly as it's always been, a sort of haven for the otaku-minded. Sure, I try to be relevant too, but the reviews themselves are mostly just for fun. I hope to bring you more of that fun in 2026. And not too far off into it either, as I get post-holiday depression, so I need to keep myself busy. So you'll be seeing me again soon enough. Try to hold on to the light in life in the meantime. Until next year, see ya! My nose hairs are out of control. Wait, what's this feeling? And who might you be? A void monster, as you can see. I thought we got rid of you guys. You did. The U.S. President requests that you cease appearing in the Oval Office. Must have missed one. Well, at least I won't be bored for long.